This is Trinesha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about how to change your circumstance. So I know you're probably thinking, okay, this is a weird thing for you to say. You're going to tell us how to change our circumstance? Yes. Let me start by saying that this is not like a quick fix kind of thing. This isn't something that you just do one day and automatically all of a sudden your life is changed. It's something that you have to continuously keep doing over and over again so that you can better yourself, so that you can become a better person, so that you can grow in certain areas. The moment that you stop is the moment that your growth stops. So you have to continuously keep educating yourself. And I know not a lot of people want to hear that because they want to hear, okay, how do you change circumstances? How do you get better? How do you improve? And it's through little habits that you make. It's through things that you do every day to improve yourself. And you don't do that just by just saying, okay, all of a sudden everything's changed. You do it by becoming better, little tweaks here and there. So today, there's one thing that improves your circumstance more than anything else, and that's God. So today, the pastor had preached from Psalm 125. I think it was like verse 2 or something. And yeah, it was chapter Psalm 125, verse 2. And he started to read from, I think it's like 2 to 5. It's not that many verses in this chapter in Psalm. And he starts talking about how there's no circumstances too difficult for God. Nothing that you're going through, there's nothing that God can't see you through. And I think it's important when we need help, when we're trying to change, when we're trying to improve, to make sure that we have resources at our fingertips. And I know some people are thinking, well, I don't have a bunch of money. How am I supposed to improve my circumstance? I don't have all of the things that maybe you have, or Jack has, or Jill has. But you don't have to have the same resources that I have to improve yourself. You know, I like telling this story because sometimes it shows where I am now and how I've changed or how my life has changed since then. So when I don't want to say broke because I don't want to just claim all of that in my life, but when I barely had any money or whatever you want to call it, I would go to the library. I was always the type of person that always wanted to learn things. I wanted to educate myself and I wanted to grow and just become a better person. And I constantly kept going to school when I was younger. So I would work and then pay for classes when I was in junior college. And once I went to university, I took out a student loan, which is like the worst thing. I never wanted to do that. I always wanted to just pay when I was going. But the thing that they don't tell you, and I think this is important for some people to know, is when you're in college, you technically don't owe anything until you graduate. So when you call the admissions office, they can't tell you how much money you owe. You have to go through a loan office so that they can tell you what you owe for the school. And so I would call because I really didn't know, and you don't know things until you know them. And when you're signing up for school, you're not thinking, 6% or whatever is a lot of money because maybe you don't pay anything before then. And once bills start hitting, then you're like, oh, 6% of this. And then when the schools get like a little trickier, they start doing your loans into groups. And so for mine, it was 6 groups. And with 6 times 6, 36. So I had 36% APR on my student loans. That's crazy. Like nobody could ever pay that back but God. Like that's the only reason. I'm going to say it again several times. How many times I got to say it? Like when I started becoming a better steward of my finances, God was like, I'm gonna help you. Because if it wasn't for God, I would still be paying them right now. Like, I don't know. Like, you could probably say I'm over exaggerating, but no, it literally took the grace of God to pay these student loans off because it was like, okay, I graduated, and then they were like, oh, and you owe us this amount, 20,000, 22,000 dollars or whatever it was. And I was like, what? Like, are you, this is Trinesha. Are you saying this is like my bill? They're like, yes, Miss such and such, this is your bill. And I'm like, oh, okay. Wow. And I'm looking at this like minimum wage job that I have, like, and I'm gonna pay this amount back with minimum wage. Like, really? Like, with 36% APR, it was just impossible. It was a really impossible circumstance that I got myself into because I really didn't know. And I think that for all of us, it's really important for us to educate ourselves on any area that we want to grow in and any area that we want to learn more about, or any area that we're doing anything in life. Like, if you are trying to pay off a bill, you want to learn how you can pay off bills. If you want to be the type of person who just pays everything for the year, maybe you're like, I want to be the type of person who doesn't have to worry about my bills every year. And in order to do that, I'm going to pay this amount every 3 months or something. Or every month, I'm going to pay this amount, which is going to get me like 2 months ahead every single month until the end of the year. And then halfway through the year is paid off. And then I can just pay a regular payment and then continuously do that until whatever, however you strategize to pay your bills. But you have to educate yourself to know what's the best thing that you could do. Like, it might help you to pay your bill more than once a month instead of just doing one lump payment, because your APR might not be as much, or the amount that you're paying might not be as much because the bill is less. Things like that are things that it's really important to educate yourself on, because you might not know that unless you know it. You got to learn those things. And so I really I was like, God, I prayed to God. It felt like I was suffocating for real. And I was just like, God, I need your help paying off this student loan. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know where to go. I don't know anything. I just know that I need help. And I'm not waiting for somebody to come save me. I need to save myself. I need your help, you know? like, and so God was like, okay, promotion. I was like, okay. And then God was like, save. I know you haven't had this money before, but I'm gonna need you to save and save. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I was so strategic with these students. Like, I was about it for real. Like, I was eating, like, buying like this big giant pack of chicken. Oh my gosh. That's probably why I don't like chicken now. Like, I like it okay, but I'm not like crazy about it like everybody else, because that's the only thing that you can eat every single day, which is a blessing. I'm not complaining in that way. I'm just saying that if I have a choice, like, if the only thing that I can eat is chicken, I'm going to eat it with a smile. But if I had a choice, I'm not going to choose chicken. I'm probably going to choose it like maybe once or twice a year. Like, that's how deep it goes. And I know some people are looking like, I can eat chicken every day. Okay, that's because you have a choice. Now, if you don't have no choice and you have to eat chicken every day, it's totally different when you don't have a choice. It's just like working a job. When you take on a car loan or whatever and you're working a job because you want to be there, it's different than working because you have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's totally different. And so so I really prayed and reached out to God, and God gave me a promotion. And then God told me to be a good steward of my finances and just chunk all of the amounts of money that I could just towards saving, like saving the $1,000, which is baby step one, and then continuously doing different things to save up. You know, God was telling me just save. The baby step two is to pay you know, the lowest amount of whatever it is that you have to pay. So, like, if all of the debts that you have, you write them down, you make a list, whatever it is you got to do, lowest to largest, and the lowest one is the one you pay first. And so you can do like where you add more money to each bill, or instead of paying like 25, you pay 100, or whatever it is that you can do every month until you pay off the amount, or every week, whatever extra income you have, whatever extra money you have. If you do a side job, if you sell clothes, whatever it is that you're doing, you take that money, put it towards the lowest amount, right? And so in the season, God was saying, I need you to stop. Don't do nothing. Like, you saved $1,000 or whatever it is for baby step one, which is $1,000. And then after that, just save everything that you have. Don't like go through and delete everything. You don't need no apps. You don't need to eat out. Everything that it's just a luxury that we think that is a necessity, exit it out. Like, cancel everything. And I was like, okay. Like, I prayed for this. I'm not going to just be like, oh no, God, it's too hard. No, I prayed for this. And I remember that feeling of just feeling like I was suffocating. I never wanted to feel that again. And so, long story, but whew. And then the next thing you know, I got a promotion. The next thing you know, the 19 happened, and it was 0% interest. and you didn't have to pay certain bills. You didn't have to pay student loans during that time. And if it wasn't for that, like those two things combined blessed my life so much. Like you don't even understand. And it really allowed me to be able to just pay the lowest thing that I had in 1 month, because I didn't have any applications which add up over time. Like you think the apps really are, oh, it's just $9.99, it's just $12.99, it's $20 a month, you know. But when I added all of them up, I think I was spending like $65 in apps or something. And then I was doing like, when I was going out to eat, I wouldn't get something that was expensive, but it added up, you know. And then there was like little snacks and things that I would get for food when I wasn't creating a menu or creating meals for the week. So instead of me creating, okay, I'm going to do baked chicken, I'm going to do chicken tacos, I'm going to do fried chicken or seared or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do whatever this is, whatever that, like I had all these different methods, like a lemon baked chicken and, you know, chicken noodle soup, you know, or whatever else. And I just, then you look at like your bill for all the times that you eat in a restaurant, and it would be like probably like $200 a month or something eating in a restaurant, because you're going every week because you don't want to cook out, or you're going to like one of the fast food joints, and all of that stuff adds up, and you don't even realize that you're spending like $50 a week in drive-throughs or whatever, or you know, $30, and $30 in a month is like $120 that you save. So I was really saving like a good $300-400 just on cutting out stuff that wasn't a necessity. You know what I'm saying? And so then it just it really allowed me to just be able to, okay, I'm gonna pay off this bill this month. Like after I had done that, then I was listening to the Ramsey show, the Dave Ramsey show back then. And and then this caller came in and they were like, I think they said they had like 30,000 left on their house payment that they had to pay. And they were like, I make 100,000, or I think it was like 350,000 or something like that. It was some kind of amount that I was just like, but but when you're in it, it's totally different than when it's you, you know. And so they said, yeah, I have 30,000 left on my house. And they said, okay. And Dave was writing down, you know, his notes and stuff like he usually does. And he said, okay, how much is your income? He said, what? You should be able to pay this off and such, you know. And the person said, and he said, well, how much do you have in your bank account? And I think they said they had like 50,000 or something. He's like, pay it off today. He's like, you got this money sitting in the bank and you have this amount that you still owe, and you're sitting there not paying it. And I just laughed, and I could feel this thing in my spirit, like, you need to pay your lowest one off now, because I had the money. I just was so afraid, because I was like, what if something comes up? What if this? What if that? And when I heard that, it was just like, you need to pay it. And I was like, I literally did it right then and there. And when I did it, it like made me feel so good. I just had this momentum, and I just kept paying and paying and paying. And the next thing you know, in 9 months, I had paid like over like $33,000 in debt off, you know, and solely. And it was just like so cool. And it felt like this sense of achievement that I didn't even know that I could do it. But it was like, it was all God, for real, because God saw my intentionality. He saw that I was being a good steward of the few things that he gave me. And it's like, I know a lot of people say the 19 didn't bless them, but it really did give me another position. It gave me more money. You know, it gave, and I know that's not everybody's story, but it was such a blessing for my life. And it really did change things. It helped me really figure out who I was. It helped me figure out the things that were important to me, and not just things that I thought I wanted in my life. You know, the things that I was seeking, friendships or relationships or whatever else, or for myself personally, none of those things mattered. The only thing that mattered was me just trying to be a better person, and just being around people who were really for me, and not people who just wanted something, or people, you know, other things like that. And so it just started helping me see things in perspective. And when you have, I think that's why, I think that's why, I think he's Bishop R.C. Blake's. I think that's why when he says, when you know what your purpose is, when you know who you are, it's really hard for people to tell you what it is that they want you to have in your life. Or it's hard for people to convince you to be with someone who doesn't deserve you, or someone who isn't grace for you. Because when you know your purpose, there's certain people who just can't be a part of your life. And I think that's so true, because it started just showing me like the types of people that needed to be a part of my life and the people who were not good for me, you know? And that's how you change. That's how you can change who you are by being clear on your purpose, by being clear on who it is that you actually are. Like who does God say that you are? Not who your mom, dad, sister, brother, people that you grew up with said that you are, but who are you? You know, who does God say that you are? Are you this woman who is going to change the world because you know how it feels to be bullied? You know how it feels to not have someone around who should have been there for you. You know how it feels to not be able to be vulnerable. So other people who are struggling with letting people in, you'll be able to help them. You know how it feels to be completely judged all the time and then to feel like you just want other people to be seen and to know that you have no you're not being judgmental towards them. I don't know why I always put these two pieces down. Sometimes I like it and then sometimes I'm like, like during the middle of the day humidity hits and then it's just the hair just does its own thing. So you guys know if you've been watching for a while, it just does its own thing. But sometimes God will choose you because of the things that you went through or because of the things he knew you would choose in your life. And for me, I feel like because of past judgment, because of some of the things that I went through, it helps me empathize with other people. It helps me really see like who they are. And I could meet a random person today and that person will tell me their whole life story. And I'll just be there and they'll be like, and I always wear my cross and stuff, but you know, a lot of people wear crosses and everything, and that doesn't mean that they're religious or Christian or whatever else. But I always have like something faith over fear is one of my necklaces. I have this one with the cross, and then I have one with the cross that has a serenity prayer in the middle, and I have a blessed one as well. But I don't wear that one as often as these three, and so. But the one I wear the most is the serenity prayer because I'm always trying to be in control. Like if I do this, if I hustle here, if I do all of these things, then I can go here. And God's like, I just need you to follow me. Like I'm in control, not you. And I'm like, yes, Lord, you know. But yeah, I really do feel like it helps me empathize with other people when they see. I really don't know if it's because of the cross or what, but they say, "Yeah, God is so good." They say something about God when they're talking to me, and I don't know if this happens to a lot of Christians. Like, let me know in the comments if when you talk to people because you're Christian or you're religious, people just bring up like gospel quotes and scriptures and stuff. Like, this is so funny. But I mean, it could be friends, it could be guys, it could be anything, and it's just like, oh my goodness. Like like it could be this random guy and he could be trying to spit game or something and he could be like it's like one of the Bible verses on like understanding like it's always a Bible verse anyways, right? And they'll be like, yeah, because you know his words are sweet like honey and something whatever else, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I mean it's true. And then they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that part. But anyways, it's just so funny. The game is so different on this side, you know, than it was on the other side. And I was listening to a sermon one day, and I know somebody gonna steal this, but but it's all good. So this guy, he was like, you know, I started being religious, and I wanted to make sure that I was gonna spit game to this girl who is now his wife, but he was spitting game to this woman, and he said, "Girl, girl, is your name Faith because you're the hope of everything that I've." I can't remember how it went. Girl, is your name Hope because you're the faith of the things that are unseen, or something like that is what he said. The substance of things that are unseen. And I was like, I bust out laughing so hard. I didn't know I was gonna laugh that hard at that. But I was like, that is such a good one. But yeah. And oh my goodness, it's just so funny. But yeah, it's totally different on the other side. And That's how it is now. When I have a conversation with people, they have to mention like something about God. They could be in their own personality. They could be showing off, like doing some stuff I'm not going to talk about in this video because I don't want to talk about them. But their whole demeanor, personality changes when we have a conversation, and it's like I don't want you to be anybody else just because I'm here. Like I have some people around me, like family members and friends, they'll be like, I don't want to curse around you. I'm like, listen, just be yourself. I'm not here to judge anybody. I don't, that's not my thing. I'm not just sitting here like, oh, you said a cuss word. I'm just like, I mean, that's who you are. Like, is it a little cringy if I was with somebody who cursed all the time? I don't know, because I'm not with nobody. With anyone. So it's just, I really laugh at it now. Like, I see like some people let it get to them and it'll be like, oh, I'm so alone, and I understand because you do want companionship and you do want to have that interaction to be with someone or around someone. And I get it. I really truly get it. I'm in a stage in my life right now where it's just hilarious. Like I start thinking about like different things and like different comments and things that people make. Like I told this in a past video, but it might make you chuckle a little. Like I would have people come up to me and they would be like, "Oh my gosh, you're single?" And I'd be like, "Yes." Like I want to say yes with confidence, but I'm like, "Yes." They're like, "Oh, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna find someone." And I'm just like, "What the world?" Why would you feel like that was something that was necessary to be said? Like, I'm good. Like, yes, I do desire to be with someone, but I promise you, I didn't just come down with a dead, like something that was like terminal. I just am in a chosen single of a chosen season of being single. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm okay. Like my health is good. Thank you for asking. But yeah, like that's how they really do it. They really be like, "Oh my gosh, you're single," and I'm like, "Yes, yes, I am." But it's so funny. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Like, yeah, now I get it. I totally get it, single people. I on the outside looking in when I didn't want to be in a relationship, I wasn't trying to judge. I was making an observation and I was just like, why do people do this? Why do people say that? Why do people blah blah blah? Oh, when I get single, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. I done did a couple things I said I wasn't gonna do. And also, I don't think it's right for me to just pass judgment like that and make it seem like I was never like, oh me, I never like I don't know what I would do in your situation for real. And so I didn't know what to expect, but I also didn't think I would do half of the things that I did while I was single. Thank God. he he is making me wait because I definitely don't want anything prematurely. I'm so thankful and grateful that God chose to change me. That he chose me to help other people to serve because honestly, I can't imagine anything better to do with my life than that. I want to do everything that's kingdom purpose. Like I want to help people for the kingdom. I want to talk to people for the kingdom. I want to get married for the kingdom. All of those things I want to do for God's benefit, not for mine. And so it God really allowed me to change. And when you are trying to change in your life, the thing that you should do is focus on God. Allow God to change your circumstance. You don't have to sit in that circumstance. Seek a therapist using one of the sites that are certified. Like don't just go on there and just use some site for no reason that somebody else mentioned just because. Like really get to know the type of therapist, counselor that you want, that you feel comfortable talking to so that you can actually divulge information to help you work through it so you can change so that you can become a better person, because you can't do that with someone that you don't feel comfortable with, and not everybody is going to be your cup of tea. Also get a life coach. Life coaches will help you determine your goals so that when you're going through things, like you could talk about stuff that's going on in your life if you need to vent, because sociology is one of the biggest forms of communication that you can have, states Sigmund Freud. Okay, right? And so while you are socializing, while you are divulging this information and you are creating goals and you're getting through all of the things that you went through in the past or talking through your emotions, these things will help you change. Also, educating yourself, having a name for the things that you're going through. Like if I'm emoting, not feeling like, oh, I can't emote. No, every human emotes. Now, making sure that you don't get so out of control with your emotions, making sure that you know where you are, where you know what your goals are for the future. You're checking with God on where it is that you're heading so that you don't go in the wrong direction. And those things will help change you. So, thank you for watching tonight's video. Sorry it was a little longer than it usually is. Usually I try to go about 15, 20 minutes to not take too many people's times up. But tomorrow I will be on a video. I have a guest coming. The live will be at 8:30 tomorrow. Sorry, I had to make sure I didn't say 9 again. But it will be at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on this channel. So join me tomorrow as I present my guest, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so excited to be able to work with this person that will give another perspective, so it won't just be like on this side. We could see my perspective and this person's perspective, and I hope that we will be able to serve and help as many people as we can. So come ready to watch, ready to comment, ready to just be served. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.